Right now, as bitter cold moves into Madison, that could mean trouble for some of the city's most vulnerable residents.
Plus, the January 6th committee now urging the DOJ to file 4 criminal charges against former President Donald Trump.
And later, the Madison School Board faced with a decision tonight whether to do away with honors courses. That and more coming up right now at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just like last week, weather will once again be dominating headlines as we move closer to the holiday weekend.
And not only is it going to be bitterly cold, but a snowstorm later this week bears watching. AAA predicts more than 2 million Wisconsinites will travel 50 miles or more for the holidays between this Friday and January 2nd. But the weather we're expecting this week could impact a lot of those plans. Before we get to that point, we're also keeping an eye on what could be a slick commute tomorrow morning.
Let's go right to Julian Seawright, who has a look at our certified most accurate forecast.
And we'll talk about the slick commute for tomorrow morning because we do have some light snow showers rolling in throughout much of southern Wisconsin. It's going to continue throughout the next couple of hours. But later into this week, what we are going to be watching for is while we have an alert day, a winter storm from Thursday into Saturday. Heavy snow, high winds could create some possible whiteout conditions, which will be concerning for those who are looking to travel between that time period for the holiday weekend. Now, we have winter storm watches throughout all of southern Wisconsin, parts of Minnesota, Iowa, and northern Illinois. And it's going to be starting from Thursday early morning for many of us, and it's going to be starting for Thursday afternoon for northern Illinois. But it's going to go into effect until Saturday morning, so that's when we're going to be watching for that time period. Right now, though, we do have a pretty broad but weak system of snowfall throughout much of Wisconsin itself. It's continuing to move at a rather slow pace for tonight. So we're looking at light snowfall, not very heavy, and is not looking to accumulate too much, but it will create some slick conditions for tomorrow because of all the cold temperatures that we have and an added addition of decorative snow. So make sure you're taking it slow going into the roadways for tomorrow. Now, as we go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be seeing later on today, we'll talk more about what else is happening for the rest of the week in just a few moments, breaking down those impacts and timing in just a few moments once again. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. Cold like this can be at best a problem and at worst fatal for people experiencing homelessness or other hardships.
Yeah, cold weather-related deaths are on the rise in Wisconsin in the past 5 years. Now an overnight shelter on Madison's east side is preparing to take in men who need a place to stay this week. Armand Rahman has the story. Armand?
Eric and Charlotte, Porchlight's men's overnight drop-in shelter opened on Zaire Road in October. They offer food, case management, and one-on-ones with staff. Health officials hope shelters like this, along with awareness of frostbite and hypothermia, can keep more people from dying due to the cold.
We don't turn anyone away, so no matter what, we'll make room for them someplace.
It's the first winter for Porchlight's men's drop-in shelter after they opened near Easttown Mall in October, and it's about to be a real test.
Due to the upcoming storm on Thursday, sometimes we see more guests arrive.
The most people they've had so far was 228 last Tuesday.
But we are most definitely prepared to welcome as many guests as required as possible.
They have more than 200 beds and mattresses and just put out more cots for a total of 20. Guests are also offered 2 meals a day.
Usually we'd increase our meal count on certain days, but usually we always have a surplus. So even if we welcome up to 300 guests, we'd be prepared.
The alternative for those guests battling the dangerous cold. That proved deadly for 91 Wisconsinites last winter, according to the Department of Health Services. The year before, 78 people died of cold-related causes.
We have seen, a slight uptick in the last few years. It's really hard to pinpoint any particular issue that may be driving that.
While it can be easy to spot frostbite by the gray waxiness of skin, it's also important to know the early signs of hypothermia so you can get someone safely inside.
Shivering, clumsiness, not being coordinated, maybe confusion. Take their body temperature. Their body temperature is below 95 degrees. That's a medical emergency and you need to seek help.
Doctors say it's not just the homeless community at risk.
In cold enough temperatures, that can happen very quickly in a matter of minutes.
You should check on outdoor workers, the elderly, and those living without good heating.
Contact their local health department that can help out with heating assistance.
And Porchlight guests can get shuttled to and from the Beacon Day Shelter in the morning and evening. Every Monday, the men's shelter offers free doctor's appointments, and every Wednesday, flu shots.
Armand, thank you. A new study has found that homicide is now the leading cause of death in children And rates are rising. According to data published today in the journal JAMA Pediatrics, the overall homicide rate for children has increased about 4.3% every year now for nearly a decade. The huge rise was specifically seen from 2019 to 2020, when the homicide rate rose 27.7%. Researchers say firearms were the most common weapon used in children's deaths. The former owner of the Waunakee Veterinary Clinic, who is accused of abusing animals, is out on signature bond tonight after an initial court appearance today. 45-year-old Dr. Wesley Arnett is charged with 6 counts of intentionally mistreating animals. During today's hearing, his signature bond was set at $500 per case. A criminal complaint alleges he kicked and struck animals in his care several times at the clinic, which he owned since 2007.
New tonight, a Los Angeles jury has found Harvey Weinstein guilty of sexual assault. The disgraced movie producer is accused of using his Hollywood influence to lure women into private meetings and assault them. Of the 7 charges he faced, Weinstein was found guilty of 3. He was already convicted of similar charges in New York in 2020. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison for those crimes. New information tonight on the looming humanitarian crisis at the southern border. The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked the lifting of the pandemic-era immigration policy known as Title 42, but officials are still concerned over the wave of migrants making their way to the U.S. The policy in question immediately expels migrants due to public health concerns, and it was set to expire on Wednesday. The Congressional Committee investigating the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol held its 11th and final meeting today.
They recommended former President Donald Trump be prosecuted for his role in trying to overturn the 2020 election and for inciting the riot. Deborah Alfarone reports.
The House committee investigating the January 6th attack is urging the Department of Justice to file criminal charges against former President Trump.
On this vote, there are 9 ayes and 0 noes.
The bipartisan group of lawmakers recommended 4 charges: obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and incite, assist, or aid or comfort an insurrection.
He chose to try to stay in office through a multi-part scheme to overturn the results and block the transfer of power.
The panel says its final report is a roadmap to justice, laying out how former President Trump and his allies worked to try and overturn the 2020 election, culminating in the deadly riot.
President Trump lit the flame. He poured gasoline on the fire and sat by in the White House dining room for hours watching the fire burn.
A previously unseen interview with Trump advisor Hope Hicks showed the former president resisted efforts to call off the mob.
He said something along the lines of, nobody will care about my legacy if I lose.
The former president called the committee a kangaroo court and again falsely claimed the election was stolen.
They don't talk about the reason that everybody was there. It was because of the election and because of election fraud.
The DOJ has charged more than 900 people as it conducts its own investigation into January 6th. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The committee also recommended charging several Trump allies, including personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, and it has referred 4 lawmakers to the House Ethics Committee for failing to comply with subpoenas, and that includes House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
A fire in Cross Plains yesterday causing significant damage to a home there. Crews say it appears the fire started in the garage and spread to the house. The call came in around 4:30, and we're still waiting word from the Cross Plains fire officials on that damage amount. In Michigan tonight, there is an active investigation into what caused a massive fire overnight. This is a grain elevator in Richland Township west of Saginaw. It started around 11 o'clock last night and burned well into today, with firefighters battling it for more than 10 hours. Several nearby roads were closed down because of the fire. No injuries, though, were reported. Down in Kentucky, several boats were destroyed after a fire at a marina in Taylorsville. When crews arrived, they found that marina structure, a houseboat, and 3 3 pontoon boats were all on fire and were eventually destroyed. Again, no injuries reported here.
36 people were injured, including 11 seriously, when a Hawaiian Airlines flight from Phoenix to Honolulu hit severe turbulence about 30 minutes before landing yesterday. That turbulence sent passengers flying from their seats. Paramedics and emergency medical technicians treated patients ranging in age from just 14 months to adults for a long list of injuries, including serious head injuries, cuts, bruises, nausea, and loss of consciousness. At least 31 Thai sailors still unaccounted for after their vessel sank late last night 20 miles off the coast in the Gulf of Thailand. Footage shared by the Navy there shows the sailor ship tilted in the water. Today, the Navy said 31 sailors of the 106-man crew were still unaccounted for. 75 sailors have been rescued. Police in New York City arrested a woman who broke into Robert De Niro's home early today. A law enforcement source says the actor was home at the time, but was on another floor when that break-in happened. They say the suspect is well known to the New York Police Department from previous arrests and is one of the top 5 burglars in that precinct.
3, 2, 1.
New tonight, the Gate of the Exonerated was unveiled today in New York City to honor a group of teens known as the Central Park Five. The group of 5 Black and Hispanic teens were wrongfully convicted of beating and raping a white female jogger in Central Park more than 30 years ago. Each served several years in prison before being exonerated in 2002. 3 of the 5 men attended today's unveiling. When 9th and 10th graders in the Madison School District go to make their schedule for the 2023-2024 school year, they'll still have the option to enroll in honors courses.
Our McKenna Alexander attended tonight's school board meeting and explains why board members ultimately decided to not do away with the current honors program.
Like most MMSD school board meetings, tonight's agenda featured plenty of topics, but one subject in particular has spurred plenty of controversy among parents, students, and faculty. That particular subject is a proposed change to how the 4 core subjects are taught to 9th and 10th graders in the Madison Metropolitan School District.
This is all about respect. Ultimately, the respect for all of the students and what they deserve from their education.
For over an hour on Monday night, current and former MMSD staff members, as well as parents of MMSD students, stood in front of the school board to voice their concerns over a possible change in curriculum. That possible change came after administrators found long-standing racial disparities within the current honors program, and in turn, suggested replacing the current program with the Universal Earned Honors System. The Universal Earned Honor System is essentially one standard class for all students, but if students want more of a challenge, they can complete extra or more difficult assignments to earn an honors designation. The goal of all this is for more diverse experiences in bringing honors programming to general education classrooms. But for Liz Lower and many other MMSD parents, the proposal raises questions over how the change would impact current honors students.
I feel like, the answer is still out there is who's benefiting. My student isn't, but I don't feel like those kids who weren't wanting to be in that class were either. So I just feel like we need to start doing deeper work to get to the answer.
Following the public comment period and after a lengthy discussion by the school board, members ultimately voted 4-3 to not replace current standalone honors classes next school year. Instead, members unanimously voted for the district to just work toward expanding the earned honors program next year. In Madison, for News 3 Now, I'm McKenna Alexander.
McKenna, thank you. Still ahead at 10, an updated look at your very cold, complete forecast for the week.
But first, a special early Christmas party for more than 100 local kids. The story is next.
Make this December one to remember. Together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Get special offers on select Lexus models. This holiday season at the Century House. Give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now, choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate, and you're protected. I'm proud of you, kid. And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. Now, get an F-150 with 2.9% financing for 60 months and $500 retail bonus cash plus $500 accessories cash.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Make this December one to remember together. Happy holidays from Lexus.
Get special offers on the 2023 ES350.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show. Please welcome Simon Cowell. What advice would you give me?
Don't listen to a word I say. This is why I sit behind the desk, Jennifer, because I can't sing.
Plus, we spotlight an incredible singer.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
The maker of the hit video game Fortnite will pay over $500 million to the U.S. government. That's over allegations that it misled millions of its players. The FTC fined Epic Games $275 million for violating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, also called COPPA. The agency accused the company of gathering personal information of minors without the verifiable consent of their parents. A piece of American naval history returning to Baltimore's Inner Harbor today after undergoing a massive refurbishing. The USS Constellation is the last sail-only warship built in 1854 by the U.S. Navy. Maryland officials supported work on the Constellation, including the restoration of more than 2,600 linear feet of its oak hull planking. The 8-mile trek on the Patapsco River took the warship past the Francis Scott Key Bridge and historic Fort McHenry.
More local news now. Around 140 children getting to celebrate an early Christmas at the Madison Concourse Hotel Children's Holiday Party. The hotel teamed up with the NFL Alumni Madison chapter to bring cookie decorating, arts and crafts, gift bags, and a hot meal to Madison area children. Inside those gift bags, a warm winter coat and a hat, as well as a backpack. An event like this is an opportunity for kids to enjoy a festive holiday celebration when they otherwise might not have gotten one.
We bring kids from the Boys and Girls Club as well as local community centers here and give them a fun holiday party.
Blue Olives. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper holiday party without an appearance from Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, very cold conditions. Snow that could disrupt your holiday travel plans. Julian's here with your complete first warn forecast, Julian.
Well, the forecast is definitely going to be a present for some that love the snow, but for many of us, this is definitely going to be a headache. Man. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Right now, we are dealing with a couple of snow showers that are rather light throughout much of southern Wisconsin. They are starting to phase out, though, and they will continue to phase out over the next few hours. But as we head into the rest of the week, this is what we have on tap. Winter storm watch is in effect for all of southern Wisconsin, parts of northern Illinois, and Iowa, and for Minnesota. Now, this is really going to start to go in effect late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, and will be in effect until Saturday at 6 a.m. So that just goes to show you this is pretty much a 3-day event that we're going to be watching for and monitoring throughout the rest of the week. Now, as we take a look at our breakdown of our alert dates for Thursday through Saturday, heavy snow, high winds are going to likely bring in possible whiteout conditions. And folks, we could see with that heavy snow and high winds that could be pushing 30 to 40 to 50 miles per hour sustained over the course of this event. Blizzard conditions are not out of the question. So as we walk through what we're going to be expecting for Tuesday, any snow that we have will taper off by the time we get into our 7 a.m. So as we're heading out the door, it's going to be rather cold, but it's just going to get colder throughout the rest of the day. Lunchtime, 15 degrees. Our daytime high is going to start early for our Tuesday morning, and then it's just going to get colder throughout the rest of the day. Though we'll have some sunshine, so that's the silver lining, but it is going to be very bitterly cold throughout the course of the day. We're looking at single digits once we get into the overnight, and even below zero on the surface once we walk into our Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, clouds will take over, and then that's when we're going to start to watch for the potential of that winter storm starting to roll its way into southern Wisconsin. Now, from this event that we are dealing with, we're looking at trace amounts. It's mainly going to be decorative snow, so it'll be pretty to wake up to, but also make sure that you're giving yourself extra time when traveling tomorrow, because we could see some slick spots, especially since it's going to be so cold overnight. Now, watching for the rest of this week. Around Wednesday evening, Wednesday night is when we're really going to start to see that snow starting to develop for us here in southern Wisconsin. So you have until Tuesday and for much of Wednesday and going into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning to really get what you need together, whether that's traveling or any late holiday shopping, because once we get into Thursday afternoon, is when we're going to start to see a lot of that snow start to really build up for us. And it's going to be heavy snow on and off throughout much of our Thursday and heading into our Friday as well, before it starts to clear up going into our Saturday. Now, however, we are going to see it clear off on Saturday. We could still see some significant snowfall totals. 69 inches for us here in south central Wisconsin, and for areas to the north, we're looking around 9 to 12. This will be from La Crosse, Viroqua areas, and further north could see a foot and even more inches of snowfall. Now let's talk about our friends to the east and to the southeast, which will be for Chicago, Milwaukee, Kenosha, Racine. We're looking at 9 to 12 inches for us, but some of those areas in the northern Illinois could see even more, just as a kind of a way to convey how much snow we're going to be looking from this event. Now, it's not just the snow we got to watch for. Again, winds are going to be sustained into the 40 to 50 miles per hour range throughout much of our Thursday, Friday, and even for Saturday. And we'll start to clear up until we get into Sunday. So we're looking at blowing snow, snow drifts to also be one of the hazards that will come from this event, and then the wind chills. Wind chills will be definitely a factor, so make sure that you're layering up, or if you don't have to leave the house, just don't, because it's going to be that cold and that dangerous throughout much of this event. Once again, from Thursday to Saturday. That's why we're going to be watching for this event, because there's a lot of hazards that can come with it, and it won't really end until we get into Sunday, which is the good news, because who would like Christmas to be one of those where you have to stay in the house the entire day, even though 10 degrees, you might want to. Good news is, though, long term, we are looking to be back to seasonable weather.
And coming up in sports, the Packers back from the bye and added another win to their record. How the running backs led Green Bay past L.A. is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Whole boneless pork loin, only $1.77 a pound. That's Smart frozen vegetables, only 88 cents. And Simply Done bath tissue or paper towels, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
Christmas season, shop Masterforce at Menards with gifts so good, the stockings stuff themselves.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now, choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate, and you're protected. I'm proud of you, kid. And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% APR financing for 66 months.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
One thing you should really know when you choose Spectrum One is that you're getting a lot of things in one thing. You get the fastest download speeds in the nation, advanced Wi-Fi with state-of-the-art security, doors wide open, Tim, and unlimited mobile, all working together seamlessly. You know what the best part is? Yes! Very surprising. Spectrum One is just $49.99. You missed it, Jason. Spectrum One. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile. All for just $49.99. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Family-size Nabisco crackers, Oreos, or Chips Ahoy, only $1.99. 8-piece chicken tenders, only $5. And 3 pounds of Halos Mandarin oranges, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
Is it just me, or is it a little weird seeing the Packers listed under the in the hunt when talking about the playoffs? And not just because of how this year has gone. Usually Green Bay is a lock for the postseason. Got to win out and get some help to get in this season. Aaron Rodgers has won 8 straight on Monday night, and when it's cold, you just give the ball to A.J. Dillon and get out of the way. Quadzilla runs over a couple Rams from 8 yards out to put Green Bay up 10-3. That was one of his 2 touchdowns on the night. And the Packer running backs weren't done yet. Third quarter, it's 17-6, and Rodgers hits Aaron Jones in the flat, and he's in for another score. Packers do their job and get the win, 24-12. Luke Fickell released its first depth chart ahead of the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, and as expected, there are some new names in starting roles. Gio Paez is in for Keanu Benton, and Caden Johnson is in for Nick Herbig, and the quarterback question for the game still hasn't been answered since Graham Mertz announced he's going to transfer. It's going to either be 5th-year senior Chase Wolf or freshman Miles Burkett. Probably both are going to play, but that's the decision Fickell isn't making.
I don't know that we've made a decision on that yet. That won't be my decision, let's be honest with you. Okay, that's kind of what I'm talking about being the head coach. I got the utmost respect for what these guys know and what gives us the best chance to win. I just like to sit down with them and you know, if they have any questions things that I might see, they can ask. But the reality is it's going to be what they believe is best.
The team that was picked to finish 9th in the Big Ten is now 17th in the country. The Badger men's basketball team moved up 5 spots in the latest AP poll after their 22-point win over Lehigh. Wisconsin, one of 4 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 25. The next game is Friday against Grambling State. Joe Ingles making his Bucks debut tonight against the Pelicans. He didn't score, but he didn't need to. Brook Lopez slams it home for 2 of his 30 points. And then the Deer would get defensive. Drew Holiday steals it, flips it to Marjon Beauchamp, who leaves it for Giannis, who rocks the rim. 42 points, 11 boards for the big man. Bucks get the win, 128-119. High school girls hoops, Mineral Point hosting New Glarus in a top 10 tilt. Glarner Knights got off to a fast start. Bella Brinkman comes up with a steal and dishes it to Lindsay Shadowalt for the easy deuce. New Glarus scored the game's first 7 points. Mineral Point, though, would answer. Caitlin Cox dials one up from deep to cut the lead to 2, but Alex Atwell had herself a night. She scores on the give and go, part of her career-high 31-point performance. New Glarus goes on to win 59-40 is your final. And we're back after this.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Monona Plumbing and
Fire Protection is here 24 hours a day.
7 days a week for all your residential and commercial plumbing services.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, we've got you covered.
Visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Hey, thanks for working through the holidays.
Clara, Dad says you're working over Christmas.
Here you go, Mrs. Person.
Let me pay you.
No, you're not going to pay me.
We are the helping.
Holly, happy holidays, Clara.
Thanks for everything you do, Clara.
We couldn't let you be alone for Christmas.
We burned your streak.
Oh my gosh,
Theo's nose was cause for alarm, so Dad brought Puffs Plus Lotion to save it from harm. Puffs has 50% more lotion and brings soothing relief. Don't get burned by winter nose. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
When cold symptoms keep you up, try Vicks NyQuil Severe. Just one dose starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to 9. For max strength nighttime relief, NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, best sleep with a cold, Madison.
Never have I ever put literally every single item in our store on sale, even the items that never go on sale. Every item?
Join us now through December 24th for our never on sale sale. Only at Rogers and Hollins.
At Overture, February 21st through 26th. Tickets at overture.org.
The insurance company's tiny check. You deserve more.
I wanted more, and I knew I deserved more.
Tell the insurance company you mean business. If you want everything you may deserve, call a powerful law firm. Why accept less when your case may be worth a whole lot more?
Hupy and Abraham.
They know how to get more from the insurance company. They got me way more than I was told I'd get.
Because a good lawyer shouldn't cost you more. They should get you more.
Call 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Right now.
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At U.S. Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
And just a reminder, things can always change, but alert days are in effect from Thursday to Saturday for that winter storm.
And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, stay warm, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.